welcome to Hard Hat Guitar Class. Today we are going to be talking about using a capo when playing with another guitar player. And the whole purpose of this lesson is using a capo so that you would be playing in a register on the guitar that is different than the other guitar player you're playing with. This is especially cool in like acoustic duos and stuff where you're really maybe struggling to think of something you can play that's not stepping on a singer-songwriter's toes. Something real simple you can do is to just move a capo around so that you're playing the same chords as the other person, but it creates like a different sound or a different texture. So we're going to look into that. And one thing you might need to know is how to transpose chords. And we'll talk about that a little bit. And I do have another video where we talk about the chromatic scale and how to use that with bar chords and using a capo. So let's give it a look. So we're going to start with a pretty simple chord progression just to get the idea of what we're doing. So I'm going to be playing G, A minor, C, and G. It's pretty folky like so. Basic. And in case if you were wondering, that is You Ain't Going Nowhere by Bob Dylan, but I'm sure there's a bunch of other songs that have the same progression. But now we're going to add a capo to it so you can hear how a capo playing the same chords would sound with those chords. So when doing this technique, I think it's important to find a spot on the guitar where you can put a capo where you're going to be playing open chords. So you get that nice full sound. You don't really want to be playing bar chords with the capo. That kind of defeats the purpose of the capo, I guess. So the most logical place to play this song seems to be on the 5th fret. I'm sure there's others, but the best one for me, in my opinion, is the 5th fret. So what I can do is for my G chord, now I can use a D shape. I'm on the 5th fret, and if I play my D string with the capo on the 5th fret, this becomes a G note. This is my root note of the chord. So now I have a G chord here. My next chord, A minor, I'm actually going to play an E minor shape because now if I have the 5th fret down of my low E string, it becomes an A note. There's my root. And then my third chord, my C chord, I'm going to be using a G shape, because if I followed this same low E string up 3 more frets, here's a C, that's my root note, I can use a G shape. So when you're doing this technique, it's going to involve a little bit of transposing, and it can be a little bit challenging at first, but once you really delve into it, it's not that challenging, and it's something that you should be able to do pretty easily once you get started. So now the song's going to sound like this. Here's my D, A minor, C, G, I think I said D first, G, A minor, C, G. So this is the same chords, but we're now playing with the idea that somebody else is playing those low chords, and it's going to create a big full sound, and you're not going to be the guitar player who's doubling what the other guitar player is doing. You're doing something a little bit different to create a bit of a bigger texture and actually kind of a bigger sound, even though your sound is getting higher up pitched. Okay, so now we're going to hear how these two chords sound together, even though they're the same chord. The first guitar will be in standard open chords, and I am capoed on the 5th fret. And so the regular guitar is going to play one time through, and then I will join in, and you can hear how it sounds. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so another cool thing you can do with these higher up chords is while the regular guitar or the first guitar is playing lower open chords, it's a good time to do a lot of hammer-ons, pull-offs, that kind of a little bit of like a mandolin-y sound almost. So we'll try it again and we'll see how that sounds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, that's a pretty subtle sound difference when mixing the two guitars together. But in a live situation or recording with another guitar, it does make a difference as opposed to just two guitars doing the same thing. And it can be a nice option if you're really not sure what else you want to be doing over the guitar, or if something a little more complicated would step on the songwriter's song or what they're doing on guitar. This is a very simple way to create a little bit of difference without being over the top. So again, remember, the most important thing is to find a spot where you can do open chords. This doesn't sound great with bar chords. It's not bad, but like the whole point is to get those open strings really ringing on two different guitars. So give it a shot. Go through your set list. See if there's a song or two where this might be an option. And as always, put on your hard hat and get to work. Thanks again.